Hey everyone, Tony here, back with some more great stuff. So I'm just gonna get into it. I'm gonna start off here with a couple more 70s Calbee Sadaharu O's, as I just keep picking these up. If I see an O Calbee, I usually just get it. So this is a 75, 76. They're one of those years. Um, Real nice, immaculate card here. This is a series from this giant set commemorating O's 700th home run. So contemporaneously, he was at around 700, and they were commemorating that. So he hadn't yet beaten Hank, and he hadn't yet, finished with his, 800 plus. But this one is awesome. Basically a pack fresh card. I also got this one. This is an O from another subset in this massive set. So this is the All-Star subset. And another very nice, very clean card. This one's got a little soiling on the back, as you can see, and a little bit of a smudge or something right there. But overall, really nice. Another one about feature about these that is pretty good is that the backs too are pretty well centered. The star border on the backs on these definitely is very often off center. So all around some pretty great O cards. I also got a couple other 75, 76-ish Calbees. Uh, Here we go. This is Toshimitsu Suetsugu. And try to say that 5 times fast, but he's a was a really good outfielder for the Giants during their V9 era. And this one really is just a pack fresh card. Another thing about this that's nice is that, as you can see, the registration on this is really dark and crisp. You can compare it, for example, to this O, right, where they're both basically immaculate cards, but the registration on the O, as you can see, is really faded. Now, this does not have to do with sun bleaching or age. I know from direct experience that they would come out of the pack like this. So it's just one of those things. And very, very many of the 75, 76 Calvies, um, well, and some of the 74s and so on have, but especially 75, 76, they have these, a lot of them have these faded backs. So if you can get one with a real crisp back like this, all the better, right? So I also got another one. I mean, I was on a roll today getting really crisp Calby cards. Check that one out. Another immaculate one. Number 1000. Yes, this is an absolute monster set. And this is Yutaka Fukumoto. Yutaka Fukumoto is Japan's all-time stolen base leader. And he's a little bit like Ricky Henderson in that he's on top, and number two isn't even particularly close. Now, Fukumoto, originally, he bested Lou Brock for the world record, and then subsequently, Ricky Henderson bested Fukumoto, and actually, Fukumoto was gifted a base by Ricky Henderson when Henderson beat his record. He gifted Fukumoto a base and with that, signed and things like that. And you can actually see that base in the Japanese Hall of Fame Museum here in Tokyo. So I actually got another Fukumoto card, and this one I'm pretty excited to have because this is from 1980 Calvi, And check this card out. Are you kidding me? Look at this card, man. I saw this, I think my jaw fell open a little bit. I mean, just kicking up that dirt, the bat falling out of his hand. Wow. Man, this is a cool card. And what's also cool about it is, well, it's one of my very first, because I picked them up today too. It's my basically my first 1980 Calvi card. And so 1980 is kind of an interesting year. Overall, the cards are actually pretty scarce. I don't know the reason for that, but 1980 Calbys are not really that easy to get your hands on. And I do not know the reason for that. For example, I could tell you why the, higher number 73 batbacks are scarcer. I know the reason to that, but I don't know about 1980 Calby. But it is a really interesting set because basically they started off making these the kind of standard Calby size that had been the same since 73, right? But then I guess they just decided to actually make the cards much, much smaller. I probably should have got one of my 80s Calby cards to show as a reference. But I'll just say that they're much smaller starting about halfway through this set. And then continuing on through basically all of the 80s, the Calby cards became much smaller. But basically, in 1980, they started off as the size they had been since 73. And then I guess they just, in the middle of it, they just decided to make them a lot smaller. So this set actually has two different size cards in it, which I think is pretty unique among baseball card sets. I can't think of anything else that has two different actual physical sizes within the set. You know what? I'm actually gonna go get. I'll pause and I'm gonna get one of my 80s cards for reference so that you can see because I don't have a 1980 small card, so that'll just have to do. Okay, so here's an 89 Calby Cecil Fielder. And so you can see basically what they did starting in the 1980 set is they basically made the cards that much smaller. So, yeah, like I said, this 1980 Calby set, which is pretty scarce to begin with, is also pretty unique in that it has two different sizes in one set. Another thing about it, and I could look at this card all day, but I will show another one because that's been getting a lot of screen time. So here's the other one that I picked up, 1980 Calby, and this is Kazuo Matsui. He is an all-time great player for the Swallows. Very decorated player, a couple batting titles, MVP. He's a Hall of Famer as well. Nice clean bag on this. But actually, another quirk of 1980 Calby is that they also have cards. So basically, you've got this like bat and ball border. They also come with the middle is the same, but with no bat and ball border. So if you can imagine that. But these are both bat and ball borders. So yeah, 1980 Calby, pretty excited to have these. Not, as I said, not super easy to come by. All right, let's do just like some more, maybe some more modern stuff here. What else do I have? All right. I picked up this very cool 1991 BBM. So this is from the inaugural BBM set. And this is the great Masaichi Kaneda. Definitely the Japanese League's pitching goat. Although he also qualifies as basically in a dead heat with Harimoto for greatest ethnically Korean player ever, because Kaneda was ethnically Korean and gained Japanese citizenship, I believe in the 50s at some point. But so yeah, Masaji Kaneda, this is him as the manager of the Lotte Orions. Awesome card. Also got this fun one. Pick this up. We've got Hideki Matsui, of course, on the left there, and Tsuyoshi Shinjo. Shinjo, you might remember. Shinjo is actually has the distinction of being the first infielder, the first Japanese infielder to play in the major leagues. So that's pretty cool. Shinjo is a really colorful character. Um, he's the current manager of the Fighters, Shohei Ohtani's former team. Shinjo himself also played for the Fighters. Now, Shinjo, as I said, is a very funny guy. And actually, Shinjo has gotten numerous plastic surgeries at this point on his face. And unlike a lot of celebrities who are very coy about it, Shinjo is actually quite open about the fact that he gets plastic surgery all the time. So he does it with a little bit of self-awareness and a little bit of humor. And he was joking, I remember the other day or week or so, and he was joking about how he said he doesn't remember what his original face looks like. So maybe someone could show him this card, because that's what his original face looks like. Another face-related anecdote, if you didn't know, Hideki Matsui, for his part, of course, you probably know his nickname is Godzilla. And he didn't get that nickname because he hits monstrous home runs and things like that. He basically just got that nickname because his face apparently looks like lizard skin, because he has some imperfections on his face. So I've always thought that was a little bit amusing. I always assumed it was because he hit monster home runs, but I guess not. And then I've got a couple more. I'm just going to finish it off with some sumo cards. So this is from 2021 BBM Sumo, and this is Hakuho, pretty much unanimously Sumo's GOAT. And this is actually from the last year that he was active. So it's 2021. Hakuho retired in 2021 at some point. And then finally, I got this one recently. I pulled it myself. And this is from the most recent sumo product to drop. It dropped, I want to say, a week or so ago. And this is Hoshoryu. Currently the only Yokozuna or Grand Champion, the highest rank in sumo, although Hoshoryu is going to be joined next tournament by Ono Sato, who won another tournament and will definitely be promoted to Yokozuna. He's fulfilled those requirements, so it's a foregone conclusion at this point. Although anyway, this is Hoshoryu, and this is cool because this is Hoshoryu's first card as a Yokozuna, like kind of his first base card, and it's also the sparkly parallel. So, all right, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Peace.